there were some amazing things that happened in that inauguration ceremony. Now, when I looked at Trump's words, it's funny. His words itself were not spoken as a Christian. And that's what he was saying. I want to make America great. I want to use common sense. I'm willing to fight for it. Now, in that context, he's willing to make room for Christians. But now he may be totally born again, totally believer, but he wasn't speaking in that sense. Franklin Graham came up and quoted Daniel 2. They had a rabbi come up. Rabbi Berman came up, who spoke as a Jewish rabbi, but talked about kind of the combined destiny of Israel and America. I mean, it was the right thing. I mean, we talk about Judeo-Christian values. I mean, he was speaking the right thing at that moment. Pastor Sewell, who just got up and just preached the gospel. I mean, it was so, just shouted the name Jesus in front of the joint houses of Congress. And I mean, it was just, and not only that, I hope you understood, he was basically, half of what he said was quoting Martin Luther King. So what he was doing as a black preacher, saying, I'm going back and I'm claiming possession of the Martin Luther King vision instead of the people that have co-opted it and brought it into the wrong direction of an anti-everything viewpoint. You know what he told me? I'm thinking this is a sign that the next wave of revival is going to come. It's going to come from the South. It's going to come from Latin Americans, like South Americans. It's going to come from Africans. It's going to come from Indians. I mean, in the nation of India, and from Southeast Asia. In other words, people of color. Some people wonder, why do a lot of the Christians in the United States seem to support Trump? Because Trump does not, act like a Christian in his style. He acts sort of very anti-Christian the way he acts. Why does that's kind of stunning? I mean, all my liberal Jewish family in the United States are saying, well, why are you so, I mean, that's not how we know you, you're for love and forgiveness, but it doesn't seem like it. But what I saw there is that there's also an issue of values. There's some issues of values, practical values. And I'm not going to go and explain them. I just want to list out a few of them. And one of them is that the purpose of the head of a government is that you have to run the army so that you don't have foreign invaders. That's his job. That's his job. His job is not to be a preacher. His job is to run the army. The second thing is and the army stops outward enemies. The second thing is you have to run the police. The police is to stop inward criminals. The other thing is you have to guard the borders of your nation. That's an obvious biblical principle. Does that mean you're against immigration? No, it means you're against illegal immigration. And then the one biblical principle is you have to get out of debt. The United States and many other countries are sinking into debt. Somebody's got to get a hold of the economy and say, look, guys, there's some bottom lines here. You got to make the income column's got to be higher than the outgo column. You got to get the place out of debt. This is ABCs. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or Muslim, a Jew or atheist. You got to get the place out of debt and to make the economy prosper. For any nation of the world, one of the things the head of the country has to do is make sure there's a positive relationship with Israel. And whoever it is, so Trump is saying he's going to support that. So we're going, well, okay, that's a positive thing. These kind of values. Another thing was he made an amazing statement. He said, from this day forward in the United States, there will be 2 gender definitions, male and female. Now, first of all, wow, that was a pretty brave thing to say. In the cancel culture of the United States, I didn't see anything, and God made them male and female from the beginning, but and the sanctity of marriage, I didn't see that. I didn't see any kind of purity of sexual. I didn't hear anything. He's just talking about, I want to make America a strong country again, and all this gender confusion is messing up the young generation in my country, and I don't want it. But Putin and Xi Jinping might say the same thing. So I didn't hear him speaking on a religious value. It was just, I just want to do what's right for what's going to help my country prosper. But he did say it. He did say it. I never heard anybody say that. That he allowed for Christians to be there. Now, maybe he's just being manipulative and he sees the evangelical Christian community as a support base for him. Who cares? Who cares? If he's going to let people pray, then that's a good thing. And another thing was, he talked about the flag. Now, the flag in any country, the Israeli flag, the American flag, the flag itself means nothing, but it's a symbol of patriotism. Well, if your nation is not patriotic, it's going down. If you don't instill basic patriotism for your country. Now, I'm not talking about nationalist extremism. That's not what we're talking about. But basic values of supporting your country. That's what it is. That's what people were seeing. That's what they were cheering. Something positive is happening. And I want to end up with this thought that we have a new opportunity of hope right now. Whether you like Bibi or don't like Bibi, like Trump, don't like Trump, whatever you interpret the events of the Middle East, the battles, the wars, the peace treaty, something is changing. We're in a new period. And beloved, we are believers. We are people of faith. We are people of hope. We're the ones that can see a good ending in the midst of a bad situation. And I want us to rise up and have hope. We have an opportunity right now. For whatever it is, there's an opportunity in America, in Israel, in Lebanon, in Iran, in Korea, in Ukraine. There is an opportunity right now in the Gospels, in South America, in Africa, in India. There's an opportunity for something to be good. Folks, let's get out of depression and frustration and fear and worry. And God has opened a door right now for us in heaven. Let's step into the opportunity and let's believe. Amen.